episode 5. What if civilizations are over? So I was just putting some few major cities there. So last episode we saw the collapse of we saw the invasion of the Swedish Empire and the collapse of that nation. We saw one nation come out of there, which was the Crimean. Then we saw the collapse of the Danish Empire, which came these four nations, and we saw massive expansions and exploration. So let's just jump straight into this video. So the first thing we're going to look at in this video is going to be this Chinese nation right here. This Chinese country is very unstable. I have been talking about how unstable this nation has been for so long. So we're going to see a massive rebellion sweep the nation. This is some of countries that this won't be just one nation, by the way. This rebellion will move fast through the nation. Most of the people will follow it, and it will manage to capture the capital in a few months of this war, and that will lead to the full collapse of the nation, as this nation will collapse. So let's look at this peace treaty. This will be the full-on collapse of this nation. It will still exist, but it will exist as a collapsed state, which is... These borders are hideous, by the way. Which is very unstable. This nation leaders were very corrupt, and that's why it collapsed. So now we're going to look at another region. The Indians, as this big Indian nation right here will not manage to survive as long. Also, as this Indian nation rushed to expand, it used to be a very stable nation, very strong country. It rushed to expand in the area, which led to it collapsing up. I'm also gonna make these rebellions into one rebellion. We're going to see a red rebellion. It won't stay red, by the way, which will sweep this southern parts right here. And we're also going to see a orange rebellion sweep the central areas of the Indians, as India didn't know what they were getting themselves into by actively claiming all that land. We're also going to see this nation expand into India. They just want the small areas, just because they're kind of scared that India can invade them, because this peninsula area is very close to their capital. So they will manage to take this major city, and that won't be all the rebellions that will sweep India. Okay, let me make this a little bit lighter, as we're going to see this color rebellion sweep the central parts of India and most of the northern parts, which will lead to the Indian king right here surrendering to this rebellion right here. So let's look at this peace treaty. Peace treaty right here will be pretty big, as many nations did gain independence, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nations. The pink team, which was one of the closest ally to the green team, the green team now feels betrayed, but they are much weaker now. We're going to see many new nations form out of these countries, form out of the green team. The tan team right here, which is one of the strongest Indian nations now. These two nations are now close in strength. The pink team is now far stronger than the green team, as they will actually, with taking this major city, was the second most economic rich major city inside of the green team, besides the capital, which was the first. So that was pretty a good catch for the pink team. So we're going to see this nation, these countries put their major cities in their respective put their capitals in their respective major cities. So yeah, that's pretty good, but we are going to see massive expansions as these two nations right here are going to really compete to take this area, and they will manage to. This nation will take this east and part and this part right here, as this nation which just gained independence will take this part and this part right here, as that will be the only expansion this nation will do ever. Like, I mean ever, because this nation has no other areas they can expand into. Well, this nation can expand here, managing to reach the border of Bangladesh, which Bangladesh doesn't like what the pink team did to the green team. So yeah, as the brown team here will do massive expansions into inner India, as it will manage to take over this entire area, which is great for them, and they might be getting expansion as now we're going into Europe, as we're going to look at the orange team right here. Instead of collapse, we're going to see for once in history, the orange teams, since they were expanding into these areas, they have been expanding into these areas with many leaders, but now the current leader is a very expansionist person. He has a a desire to conquer all of the Italian peninsula. They call this peninsula the Nepalese Peninsula. These people call it whatever they want, but this country wants all of this, and they might, so they have a large claim into this area, as they will be putting that claim actually to work, as they're going to be invading one of the most militarist nations inside the continent, the peninsula. The purple teams, it became very militarist because it did not want to die to countries like the Nepalese or this pink nation. As we're going to see this nation move in, they will struggle a little bit, but they will manage to succeed, which that will also lead them making a landing through Carthage of this area and managing to capture it. It will take some time, but that won't be the end of the Nepalese conquest, as the Nepalese right here will make, right after invading the pink nation, or Rome, what can I say, but it's not really Rome, because Rome, they have the capital in Sardinia, not Rome. They will declare war on the pink nation, which they were actually, the old leader was great friends with the leader of the pink nation, so that's the first. As we're going to as we're going to see troops enter here, and also they're going to call the red team to also enter. They're not going to enter far, but they're just going to enter into these few areas, also including the purple team, who was also waiting for a great chance to invade this nation, which they will manage to get that, as they will also gain Corsica, as they will invade the main areas. The main land of this nation is like this area, as this entire northern part will fall to Italian troops, to Nepalese troops, which this nation, as that will also lead to the full capturing of these two nations. So let's look at this peace treaty. The peace treaty, which got into the Nepalese capital of Napolia, called the Napoleon Conference, divided most of the Italian peninsula, which led the Napoleon Conference divided most of the Italian peninsula, giving it to Naples, which was what Naples wanted, And with that, we saw Naples getting this nation, which is a wrong layer. And go to the actual layer. We saw Naples getting this, all of Corsica and Sardinia, and this entire territory right here, connecting them up to one of their biggest colony, which is absolutely amazing. The red team, which thought they would gain more land than this, they gained the second most, but that's kind of disappointing for the red team. The purple team will gain this territory right here, which, yeah, as the red empire, which the red team calls themselves, will be much stronger. As with the red empire, we're also going to see the creation of the Nepalese empire. The Nepalese empire, which is probably the okay. I think this would be a great time to do power rankings because we have a large sum of nations. So let's get started on the power rankings. The power rankings are not going to be any different to normal power ranking. The first strongest nation, a lot of countries are contenders at this spot, but I will slightly add a scale are not far behind each other. So no, the red team is not second. The red team is the first official, the first strongest nation. That means it's a very strong country. Let me just. Okay, I'll do power rankings. So the power rankings are the red team at number 1, Russia at number 2, very small margin by the way, Italy at number 3, Norway at number 4, also very small margin, Egypt at number 5, Morocco at number 6, England, Britain at number 7, Andalusia at number 9, and Bengal at number 10. So those are the current power rankings. So I'm just going to clean up that area. So talking about Egypt, we're going to see Egypt, who was busy building up a lot, who do more explorations of the Nile, which is their main focus. As the explorers that are exploring the main Nile will split up in two to explore both sides. As they see, this side is the shortest right here, and also they will do the same here. As one exploration force will explore this part and the other will explore this part also. As this exploration group will be exploring greatly, as they will realize that this leads to a lake, and they will realize that this is a pretty big area. As they're keeping on exploring the Nile River, they will meet up with the Victoria Lake right here, which this lake is inhabited by very violent tribes. After that, we're going to see more exploration on the coast by the Egyptians, and we're going to see them discover something. We're going to see the Egyptians. This exploration one discovered something big, but they didn't go home. I'm just gonna show you what they discovered, but they did not go home. That's one thing that you should know of. They did not go home. So the Egyptians don't know about this country right here. So that, because this country is a very violent nation, as the tribes that live in Victoria Lake are also very violent. So it makes sense why they are very violent. They came from the same tribes and same. So the Egyptians will once again will be very confused why it's like this. So they'll just focus more on exploring the east, as that's gonna lead to the discovery of another nation, which these nations don't know about each other, but since here is a little bit hilly, so this is what these nations would know. Morocco will explore a lot down south and a little bit more into the Sahara Desert, which is their main focus for now. Algeria, which I'll call this nation, will explore a lot into the Sahara Desert. Egypt also will explore a lot into the Sahara Desert, and Carthage also doing massive explorations into the Sahara Desert. So now let's look at the the expansions of these nations, as we're going to see this country of the country of the country of Egypt to expand more into the Sahara Desert and more down south, as they are gonna make conversations with this nation right here, as that and the Egypt, as this will lead way to a very big empire which will come up, as the leader of Egypt right now will call themselves the Egyptian Empire, as this nation seeing that, okay, now we're not alone, we can expand. They will, which I'll call Somalia, they will expand greatly to meet up with the Egyptians, as they do know about this nation. They know a lot about that nation, as they will inform the Egyptians about the nation down south that they found, as they don't know about the lake they border, but they will inform the Egyptians about that area. But that will end this video. If you did enjoy, thank you for watching, and goodbye.